And we are back at it for another week of television entertainment, television information, and just plain local TV. I'm Dan Kuntz. Wake up Wenatchee Valley, 12th day of December, 2022. It is a Monday. It is a snow-covered area that we're living in. You got to give credit where credit is due. The National Weather Service absolutely nailed that forecast. When we last visited on Friday, the National Weather Service said it's going to start snowing in the Wenatchee Valley about 4:30. As the evening progressed, it would pick up in intensity. It would snow at a pretty good clip. In fact, we got actually more snow in the valley than they were expecting. And all that being considered, everybody was pretty much on their best behavior as far as getting around town on Friday night, Saturday, and really on into Sunday. Not a lot of accidents to report. Although there was one rather significant event at the Rock Island Grade, and a lot of people got stuck in this. With the Rock Island Grade, as you go past the dam on Highway 28, you start climbing up the grade, and then the passing lane comes into play, and you get up to the way station there. Yeah, bunch of semis couldn't make it up the grade. There was compact snow and ice on Highway 28 just past Rock Island Dam, and as they started going up the grade, it just wasn't going to happen. And they had to shut down that eastbound lanes of the highway for about 3 hours on Friday night because a bunch of semis couldn't make it up the grade. That was about the only real significant thing that happened locally. Of course, the Tumwater Canyon was closed for most of the weekend. That'll be our lead story. That led to all kinds of traffic nightmares. We'll have all of those information and everything else you need in news. That's coming up. The Wenatchee Wild did it. They beat Penticton on Friday night. Penticton had a 40-game winning streak dating back to last year. 40 consecutive games without a defeat, and the Wild beat them in a crazy game on Friday night. Then they won again yesterday on Teddy Bear Toss night. They beat West Kelowna. Now, West Kelowna and Penticton are two of the best teams in the league. Huge games, huge victories for the Wild. And they got one more game on Tuesday before they have a little bit of a break for the holiday. We'll have highlights of that. You all know what happened to the Seahawks yesterday. Didn't look very good against a team that only had 4 victories. Seems like every time the Seahawks get a little momentum going, it just kind of it peters out. Anyway, we'll have results of that. And there was not a lot of high school action going on this weekend because of the weather. We'll touch on that. Normally we do Pause for Pets on Thursdays. We didn't do it Thursday. We didn't have one. They did one on Friday. We'll do it for you a little bit later on today as well. We'll introduce you to Oakland the dog, who is still in dog jail there at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, it's looking pretty good. Now, there's no snow of any kind in the forecast, at least through the next 7 days, but it's going to get cold. The temperature's going to drop like a gopher's basement. About basically starting Tuesday, each day we're going to get a little bit colder and a little bit colder and a little bit colder. And we can see overnight lows in the single digits and afternoon highs only in the teens by the end of this weekend. So the snow that we have now is really not going to do a lot of melting. Those details are coming up too. All right, 3 minutes after the hour. It's 13 days until Christmas. Let's get going. Let's see what we have out there with our Valley cameras. That is, of course, the new camera back up and running on Wenatchee Heights. And if it looks better than the old camera, it is. It's a nicer camera. It's a newer camera. It's a better lens. It even has a little wiper on it. In case it gets wet, we can turn it on, and that's a beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley. And most of the East Wenatchee area is showing some attention there. I guess the higher up the elevations you go, the more you got. I had a friend of mine lives up at the Fancher Heights development. He said they had 13 inches of snow up there. At my house, and I live pretty close to downtown, had just about 9 inches of snow. Plenty for most folks. Camera number 2. I don't know. Normally we coordinate this, and we didn't do that today. That looks to be maybe the Cashmere camera up there high above Appelandi's, perhaps. Maybe Stein. I don't know. It's Cashmere. Anyway, good morning to Cashmere. It's always a pleasure to see you folks. Again, we're kind of limited, even though it's super clear. It's a beautiful morning. Nothing but clear skies and 25 degrees. It's still dark because sunrise isn't until 7:39 this morning. Sunset's still 4:10. Sunset, again, doesn't get any earlier than 4:10. That buys us 8 hours and 31 minutes of daylight, and we are 9 days away from the official start of winter, although winter started about 3 weeks ago. Camera number 3. There's Rocky Reach Dam from our Omi Gardens camera. Again, getting in as much light as possible. You can see a little traffic to your right on Highway 2, Highway 97, near the Baker Flats industrial area. Folks heading into town to get their day going. Monday is always the lightest day of the week traffic-wise. Some people have Monday off. And, of course, then you also have late start for the Wenatchee and Eastmont School District, and that lightens up the traffic load a little bit. Most of the area roadways are pretty fine right now. We had some snow melt yesterday. And camera 4. Downtown Wenatchee, from the roof of the Cascadian, looking to the north, and again, very little traffic on the avenue. And beautiful morning. It is cold. It is 25 degrees outside of our studios. Manson's at 28. Omac's at 36. That's a mile for Omac. Omac and Waterville, by the way, you're going to get some wind today. Not a lot of wind, but a little bit of wind up Omac and up in the Waterville Plateau. Just what you need with the cold temperatures and all that snow. Let's not waste any more time from our friends at Apple Valley Honda and the National Weather Service. As I mentioned before, each day we're going to get colder and colder and colder as a strong ridge is beginning to build up over the area. That snow system that came in Friday night and into Saturday is pretty much gone. So very dry, very cold. A weak shortwave on Wednesday is going to cloud us up. But the sun is going to be out for the most part. Today is going to be by far the warmest day of the forecast period, as you can see. We'll see some sun breaks. In fact, we should see sun all day today because I went outside about 20 minutes ago for one last look up at the sky before the show got going. I didn't see a cloud anywhere. So about 33, which is just about normal. Our normal high this time of the year is about 34. So that's looking good. 27 for the overnight low tonight. And then here comes the colder temperatures. 27 is all we're going to get to after some morning fog burns off on Tuesday. Overnight low 19. Right around 27, 28, 29 on Wednesday. We're going to see a few more clouds on Wednesday. And then an overnight low of 18. And then we get colder to 26 for the high on Thursday, to 25 on Friday, to 22 on Saturday. And yeah, we'll only see highs in the teens on Sunday. And for the first time in a long time, an overnight low in the single digits. So we are in for a very extended stretch of very cold and very dry conditions. Relative humidity is going to get bone dry. So again, the snow that we have on the ground probably isn't going to be going anywhere for the time being. So if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, I think we're going to have one. Looks pretty good anyway. 7.5 minutes after the hour, after 1 minute break, we will have your Monday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel. When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can use this one.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
We just dropped a degree during our commercial break, 23 outside of our studios, but beautiful clear skies, a gradual cooling trend throughout the course of the week. It's going to be downright really cold by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. Quite a bit of sunshine for the Wenatchee Valley, but chilly temperatures to say the least. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Highway 2 through Tumwater Canyon was closed for most of the weekend after heavy snows led to over a dozen snowslides between Coles Corner and Leavenworth. Look at that shot. That shot is from the Chumstick Highway on Saturday because you couldn't go through the Tumwater Canyon. The Tumwater Highway was closed late Friday. Heavy snow led to fears of avalanches. Eventually, there were a number of avalanches. That is a shot of the closed section of the Tumwater Canyon as the snowplows got their work done. 5 cars were stuck and needed to be removed from the Tumwater Canyon after they drove around a snow berm that was placed to block the roadway. People ignored it and got stuck. That is a shot of Stevens Pass at 12 noon on Saturday. Can you believe that? Heavy congestion at the summit of Stevens Pass led to numerous vehicles that simply parked illegally on the highway itself. Highway 2, by the way, through the Tumwater Canyon reopened at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The Wenatchee Valley College Board of Trustees has come to an agreement with their newly hired president. The contract has been finalized His name is Famous Harrison. He's pictured there. He's going to be paid $250,000 per year under the contract, which trustees approved at a special meeting on Tuesday. Harrison replaces retiring Wenatchee Valley College president Jim Richardson, who's leaving the institution after 17 years. He previously served as the dean of the Stockton campus, Harrison did, of California State University Stanislaus, and worked at the Washington State Community and Technical College system for 20 years. Harrison's first official day as president of Wenatchee Valley College is on January 3rd. The Wenatchee River Institute has a new director. His name is Kanush Taranella. He will lead the environmental education nonprofit beginning next year. Director Carolyn Griffin-Bugert is retiring. Taranella is a former board member of the WRI, where he's served for 2.5 years. The Institute at the Barn Beach Reserve provides education and outreach for youth and adults interested in the local ecosystem and the natural world. The WRI plans to send off its former director and welcome the new one at 4 o'clock on January 21st. Congratulations to Kanush. Chelan County has finally set a date. It will be December 29th. The official swearing-in ceremonies at the Chelan County Courthouse. The ceremony will begin at 10 a.m. On the 29th, Judge Travis Brandt will lead the ceremony in the Chelan County Courthouse. He'll be administering the oath of office to the new officials, including incoming County Commissioner Sean Smith, Sheriff-elect Mike Morrison, and District Judge-elect John Boland. Now, the county says ongoing construction at the government complex means that the public is going to have to enter through the Law and Justice Center and then take the third-floor walkway to reach the lobby of the courthouse. If you've ever wanted to know more about the history of Leavenworth, you have a chance coming up a little bit later on this month. NCW Libraries is teaming with the Greater Leavenworth Museum and Bavarian Walking Tours to offer the Leavenworth History Walking Tour. It'll be on December 28th from noon to 1. The tour will begin at the library. It's at the intersection of Highway 2, and it'll end about 1.3 miles later with admission into the Greater Leavenworth Museum. Participants are asked to pre-register for the free tour at ncwlibraries.org. Kids can participate in a scavenger hunt, by the way, along the way. Chelan County has distributed $4.6 million in funding. It's federal ARPA funds. That's the pool of pandemic recovery money that was set aside under the American Rescue Plan Act. Chelan County held back about $10 million of its overall $4.9 million allocation to make up for lost revenue. But last week, commissioners announced grants from the remainder of the money to civic groups and agencies, including $699,000 to the 7 Acres Foundation, that's up in Lake Chelan. They granted $653,000 to the Chelan Douglas Health District, and $480,000 is going to go to the Center for Drug and Alcohol Treatment. ARPA provides COVID relief money to local governments across the country to help them rebuild from the pandemic years. And finally, Friday morning before the snow came, Friday afternoon, our very own content producer, our good friend Mr. Darby, took a look-see at the big camera up on top of Billy Goat, high above Pateris, and took some really cool time-lapse. Take this out. Again, that was Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, it was snowing at a pretty good clip up there. But again, no snow in the forecast, just really cold by the middle of this week. Temperatures are going to really start dropping, and it's going to be very cold with all that snow on the ground by the time we get to the weekend. We'll do the forecast, of course, one more time. And that is the news. At 15 minutes after the hour, we will have a newscast for you coming your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 with Grant Olson and Cal and Jefferson and Eric and Mac and whoever else wants to participate in the news gathering process. It's a good thing that we got folks who know what they're doing. And look at the bottom of your screen. That's how you get a hold of us. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a note on the Messenger app. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, and click on the Contact Us icon. When we come back, the Wenatchee Wild had a really, really good weekend. They were one of the few teams that actually played this weekend. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
Are you raising a grandchild or another relative's child? If so, kinship programs may be available for your family. Kinship Care is the full-time care of children by relatives. Kinship Care maintains family, cultural, and community ties. It's the oldest form of family preservation and an important safety net for children whose parents are either unable or unwilling to care for them. To learn more about Kinship Care or to find a support group near you, please contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Back out of the 17 minutes after the hour. How about the Wenatchee Wild? Wow. One of the biggest victories they've had in a long time. They pulled off the upset of the season. Friday night, they beat Penticton 2-1. It was the V's first loss of the season, thanks in large part to goaltender Owen Millward. He had a great night. Austin Trouty had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network as Christian Kim did all the damage on the offensive end.
Wenatchee gets it back with Stefanik. Over the blue line, on time was Kim. Left for Kim. Backhand chance, he scores! Turnover in front of the net. A little shimmy shake, and the Wild have the 1-0 lead. Gaining it back is Kim down the right wing. He's got the only goal tonight. Fakes left, goes right, looking for the forehand. He scores! Christian Kim, right wing circle, 2-0. Arnott wins the faceoff. Simpson up top. Fired on the net. Save made. Reaching out. Sprawling to his left. Millward with some help as he keeps out another one. 3-on-2 battle on the end boards. They could see that puck moving. Jostled free. Turned over. Wristed toward the net. Save made. Millward. Trying to soccer it ahead. Hayduk did not get enough of the skate on it. Tinling drives it in. Corkscrewed off his feet. And the puck is in the net. They score. And I think Littler might have been the one in the net with Millward. The referee on the goal line points right to the net, calls it a good goal. It's 2-1. Wild just trying to get a stick on it, and Owen Simpson has it, threads it through, bouncing puck, trying to cover. Millward has it, and he's got the whistle with 1:42 to go. Might be the final face-off of the night. Somoza does not win it. To the left point, Jurasevich leaves it off for Bradley Nadeau. Wrist shot, scrapping for it, swept aside, and it's pushed out to the right point. Back over to Bradley Nadeau, top of the slot, waiting, wrist shot, that one runs high and wide. On the back of the net, 5 seconds left, Wild trying to pin it there, everybody piling in, this game is over, and finally, the Wenatchee Wild are the one as fist and gloves fly on the end boards at the end.
First time in 40 games that Penticton lost, a 40-game winning streak going back to last year. Wow, that's incredible. And luckily, they still had a little left in the tank. Come yesterday, last night, they took on West Kelowna. It was Teddy Bear Toss night, and they won in overtime, 5-4.
Free with it. Wild have it, 2-on-1. Somoza down the right wing. Murray waiting on the left side. Somoza over the blue line. Sends it back to our Murray. Here's shot. He scores! And it's time to toss the Teddy Bears at Town Toyota Center. Across for Somoza. Looking for an angle. Sends it over Littler. To the left wing circle. Somoza feints on a slap shot. Sent in front. Looking to the back post. Littler just too far away to get to it in time. Somoza up top. Waits, wrist shot, he scores! Ian Somoza! Wild win! Drive home safely!
Great weekend for the Wenatchee Wild. They got another game. They turn right around. They got Vernon. The Vipers will be in town at 6:05 tomorrow at the Town Toyota Center. Speaking of hockey, the Seattle Kraken split a pair of games on the East Coast over the weekend. Adam Larson was the only Seattle player to find the back of the net on Friday. They lost to the Capitals 4-1. But on Sunday, Matty Beniers helped the Kraken out to an early lead in a 5-2 win over Florida. Andrei Burakovsky, Jordan Eberle, Daniel Sprong, and Yanni Gourde also on the scoring end for Seattle. The Kraken remain in Florida. They'll take on Tampa Bay tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. Gonzaga won the Battle of Washington teams. The Bulldogs beat the Huskies in Spokane Friday. The final was 77-60. Drew Timme led the way for Gonzaga. He had 22 points. Julian Swather had 18. UNLV remains undefeated. A narrow 74-70 win over Washington State on Saturday. TJ Bamba had 20 in the loss for the Cougars. And South Dakota State won a one-pointer over Eastern Washington, 77-76. That's the men's. In women's play on Saturday, Moses Lake's Jamie Laura had 13 points to pace Eastern Washington in a 65-45 win over Tarleton. They're out of Texas, I'm told. And on Sunday morning, Cashmere's Haley Van Lith shown under the lights of a national broadcast on ESPN. She had 21 points as her Louisville Cardinals knocked off Kentucky.
In the early going. You've done a good job on her pull-up pop. And that'll spin in. Nice touch. At Rupp Arena. Backdoor cut. Great catch there by Jones. Really. 52-32. Van Lith with a jumper. And yes, nice touch.
In the half court.
Van Lith with the pass, and there's Jones on target.
And then with the adjustment of the style of play teams they were playing, she's coming off the bench and playing solely to 5.
Van Lith will draw the foul and go to the line for a three-point play on this possession.
Van Lith has had to work extra hard, extra.
At 3 o'clock on ESPN. So Louisville will have a very satisfying win here today over Kentucky.
And one other score to pass along in women's basketball. Despite a career-high 40 points from Charlize Ledger-Walker, Washington State fell to the Huskies 82-66. Lauren Schwartz led the Huskies with 21 points in the victory. The weekend snowstorm, as you might imagine, raised all kinds of havoc with a lot of high school games over the weekend. Now, a lot of the games were able to be gotten in on Friday. That was before the real heavy snow came. West Valley topped Wenatchee in girls play, 69-24. Ellensburg beat up on Moses Lake, 71-21, and Ephrata topped Wahluke, 67-23. Elsewhere in girls basketball, Omak over Quincy, 59-28 on Friday night. Cashmere clobbered LaSalle, 54-6. Tenaska topped Waterville Mansfield, 43-34, and Pateros beat Manson on Friday, 38-22. In boys basketball on Friday, West Valley stopped Wenatchee 57-35. Moses Lake edged Ellensburg 58-56. Quincy quieted Omak in boys basketball Friday 73-59, I should say. LaSalle beat Cashmere 66-41. Ephrata over Wahluke 50-44. Tenaska whipped up on Waterville Mansfield 78-38, and Manson mauled Pateros 56-32. That was Friday. Saturday, Lake Stevens at Eastmont canceled. Wenatchee at Cheney canceled. Okanagan at Cashmere canceled. Nobody could go anywhere on the boys, and by golly, it was the same with the girls, as you can see there. Now, all of these games are going to be made up if they're league games. If they're non-league games, for instance, Lake Stevens at Eastmont or Wenatchee at Cheney, they probably won't be made up, but the league games certainly will. They got to play them. There were a couple of games that were played on Saturday. Lake Roosevelt beat Elmira Cooley Hardline in girls basketball 49-31, and Republic down to Oroville 53-36. That was in girls play. On the boys' side, Lake Roosevelt over ACH 83-31, and Republic beat Oroville 62-47. The Seahawks probably wish they were snowed out yesterday. They weren't. lost to the Panthers 30-24. Geno Smith threw 2 interceptions. The Seahawk defense allowed over 200 yards rushing. Coach Pete Carroll said, yeah, another disappointing loss.
This game didn't go at all like we had planned. Falling behind early and getting in trouble. Made it obviously a challenging, return, but we did it. We got back in this game, got back in there with a couple touchdowns, and got the ball coming out in halftime, and we're in the fourth quarter, it's 2017, and so from there we had to finish the game, and we had a few chances, and we weren't able to get it together enough to get it done. They ran the ball really well in the fourth quarter. We had respected them that they would try to do that, and when they went to it, we couldn't get off the field, and we had a couple drives and our chances in there on the other side. We had to go ahead and get them. We backed up, but we still had our chances. It was a great fourth down stand down there by the defense, but when it came down to it in the fourth quarter, we didn't have what we needed to have to get it done.
It's the fourth straight game that the Seattle defense is just being gouged. They can't seem to stop the run. Strong safety Ryan Neal says it's especially frustrating because Ryan Neal thinks the Seahawks might be a playoff team.
Absolutely, and that's what makes it frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly what makes it frustrating, because it is. We got the guys and we've shown the world that we got it, but it's just like we got to put it together at times that it matters. You know what I'm saying? And it's when you look across the locker room, I mean, even when I look at it now, I still think we're a playoff caliber team. I still think we got guys that can maybe. I still think we can go toe-to-toe with anybody, but it makes it frustrating because you want it so damn bad, and it's just like, when it doesn't come together, it just makes you upset. So we got to find a solution. We got to find it yesterday, because the time is now, point blank, period.
Carolina just ate up the clock. Their offense had the ball for about 2/3 of the game. Wide receiver Tyler Lockett says Seattle's offense needs to do better to help their defense.
I mean, it's tough, man. I think, when you look at the game, the Panthers did a good job, but, I mean, time of possession really killed us. I think they had the ball for like 40 minutes in the game, and, I mean, it's hard to be able to win games when a team can be able to hold the ball for so long. And we got to be able to do better on offense, just to be able to possess the ball for that long as well, so we don't put too much on our defense.
Seahawks dropped to 7-6 with the loss, and they turned right around like that. They got a game Thursday night. They'll be hosting the 49ers on Thursday Night Football. Speaking of the Niners, they improved to 9-4. They demolished Tom Brady and the Buccaneers 35-7. And Arizona will host New England tonight. You can watch Monday Night Football on ESPN. I won't be. I have better things to do with my time. And that's some of the games that people are playing at 28 minutes after the hour. I had a number of obscure holidays I could have chosen. Today is National Ambrosia Day. That's the cocktail, I believe. National Ding-a-Ling Day. The idea behind that is to reach out and say hi to somebody who you haven't talked to or seen for a while, an old friend or something like that. Today is Gingerbread House Day. Gingerbread houses are cool to look at, and they're fun to make. They don't taste very good, though. Never could figure that out. No, today is National Poinsettia Day, the absolute flower that we associate with Christmas. According to legend, it goes way back to the 16th century. In Mexico, a little girl wanted to celebrate Jesus Christ's birthday, but she had no money. So she wanted to give Jesus a gift, and so an angel appeared and told her that Jesus will accept any gift from you as long as you give it with love. So she gathered a bunch of weeds from the side of the road, placed it in a manger display, and then the weeds transformed themselves from ordinary weeds into a beautiful red star, and according to legend, that's where it came from. An American botanist and the very first United States minister to Mexico is the man who actually is named after this, Joel Roberts Poinsett, who brought the plant to the United States in 1825. Even then, it wasn't really associated with Christmas. It's associated with Christmas, of course, because the leaves look like red stars and the green, the green and the red. The big guy, though, is Paul Eckey. Paul Eckey is the American poinsettia guy. He is the father of the industry. In fact, every year in this country, approximately 70 million poinsettias are grown at the Paul Eckey Ranch. In fact, 70% of the entire U.S. market of poinsettias over the holidays comes from one place, that ranch where they grow them. Happy National Poinsettia Day today. Most houses have them. Bottom of the hour. Wow, it's flying by. Today in history, we always do states when they join the Union. Somebody's got to be number 2. Delaware was number 1. 5 days after Delaware ratified the Constitution, Pennsylvania did. Pennsylvania becoming the second state to ratify the Constitution on December 12, 1787. That makes them the second state. They're actually a commonwealth, officially called the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. They share that with Massachusetts, Kentucky, and Virginia, one of the 5 commonwealths. It's the Keystone State because of its physical location. In the colonial time, it was right in the middle of the colonial states, so to speak, with the New England states above it and the southern states below it. That's how it got its name. Pennsylvania sent 360,000 volunteers into the Union Army during the Civil War. They were a critical part of that victory. Pennsylvania has the largest number of licensed hunters, just by sheer numbers. Now, from a ratio standpoint, no. But from the sheer number of people who are registered and have a hunting license, Pennsylvania is number 1. Pennsylvania is the leading producer of mushrooms in this country, for whatever that is. You talk about your split ticket. Of the 18 members of Congress in Pennsylvania, 9 are Republicans and 9 are Democrats. And Pennsylvania has, over the last 100 years, lost a lot of electoral votes. They've lost 18 of them. Back in 1928 presidential election, Pennsylvania had 38 electoral votes. That was second among all the states. Now they just have 20. That is 6th among the states, but is still considered a bellwether state in politics. Happy 235th birthday to Pennsylvania. December 12th, 1935, 87 years ago today, Heinrich Himmler launches that project, the Lebensborn Project. Basically, all you women out there in Germany, if you have pure white Aryan blood, we want you to crank out as many babies as possible. Yeah, they really believed in eugenics, they did there. The idea was to encourage mothers of all kinds, even unmarried mothers, to have babies. A lot of SS guards impregnated single women just to have them have babies, and the more babies you had, the more awards you got. They awarded the Cross of the German Mother to every German mother who gave birth to a Aryan, pure white kid. 87 years ago today. 81 years ago today, Adolf Hitler had a meeting at the Reich Chancellery with his leadership, said it's time to do something about the Jewish problem, and they came up with just exterminate them. It was made official. It was the official party line of the Nazi Party, December 12, 1941, 81 years ago today. The Holocaust officially begins. I don't know if there's a date for it, but that became, that would be their be-all, end-all. The nightmare begins there. December 12th, 1985, 37 years ago today, they were on their way home. The 101st Airborne, stationed out of Cairo, Egypt, they were on their way home for Christmas. On this date in 1985, they flew from Cairo to Cologne in Germany. They refueled the plane and got a new crew. Then they flew from Cologne, Germany, to Gander, Newfoundland, where they refueled the plane and got a new crew. But when they took off from Gander, Newfoundland, with 256 people on board, the plane never quite got going. It struggled to get off the runway. It climbed, it stalled, it crashed. All 236 people on board were killed. What caused the crash? 2 things: ice on the wings, and the plane had more weight than it was supposed to have in it. They had underestimated the weight on board, and it just never quite got going. All 236 people on board died. It remains to this day the deadliest accident in Canadian aviation history. And finally, it took over a month, but on December 12th, 2000, 22 years ago today, the United States Supreme Court, in their 5-4 ruling, rules in favor of George W. Bush in the case of Bush v. Gore, and it all came to an end. With that, George W. Bush got Florida's 25 electoral votes, and with that, 271 electoral votes. You needed 270 to win the presidency. It all came down to 537 votes. The 2000 presidential election decided by 537 votes in Florida out of 6 million cast. Birthdays: Francis Albert Sinatra. I don't know what else to tell you about Frank Sinatra. Yeah, the guy could sing, and he was a pretty good actor too, and did a little. He's still synonymous with American entertainment and American singers. He essentially picked up where Bing Crosby left off. He basically invented male popular singing of the 20th century. The guy was huge, Frank Sinatra. He was talented too, and he was old school. He and Elvis had the same thing in common. They insisted on leading the band. They just weren't singing in front of the band. They were a part of the band. Both Elvis and Frank Sinatra had the same recording style, live in the studio with your band. Don't come in later and just lay down your vocal tracks. He didn't do that till the very end of his career. The great Frank Sinatra, born in the state in 1915. Born in Darrington, Washington, Bob Barker, still alive, still kicking. At 99 years old, he was born in Darrington. He spent most of his youth at the Rosebud Indian Reservation in Mission, South Dakota. He is 1/8 Sioux, by the way, and of course from 1972 to 2007, he was the host of The Price is Right. Bob Barker is 99 years old today. Have your pet spayed or neutered. And happy 82nd to Dionne Warwick, who's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, despite all the hit songs that she had with Hal David and Burt Bacharach all those many years ago. She was nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, didn't get voted in. Something's not right there. Dionne Warwick, who for a brief time in the 1970s, after consulting with an astrologer, added an E to the end of her name. And she didn't. Dionne Warwick is 82 years old today. Still to come, an opinion from Mad Dog McNaughty, but speaking of having your pet spayed and neutered, it's time for Pause for Pets. It's Oakland the dog still needs a home.
Hi there, my name is Nicole Laudermilk. I'm the shelter coordinator here at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Here we have Oakland. He is about 3 years old. He's a Husky Shepherd mix. Oakland, can you sit? Yes. He's working very hard on how to be a good boy and with sitting and trying not to jump so much. He's doing well with his leash work. He needs a little bit of a brushing. His winter coat is coming in quite nicely. Come here, Oakland. Oakland, sit. Yes. He's very good at sitting. He likes to do a cute thing where he raises his paw. Not really sure what that's about, but it's a nice little cute characteristic about him. Unfortunately, Oakland has to go to a home where he is the only pet, but he is willing to work with you if you are willing to put in the time with him. If you are interested in adopting Oakland, he is ready to go home today. Come on down to the shelter and ask for a meet and greet with him. We are open from 11 to 6. We're open 6 days a week. We are closed on Wednesdays. We do close from 1:30 to 2:30 for our quiet hours so that they can kind of rest and relax before doing some more meet and greets.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group here in North Central Washington. And it's that time of year again. October 15th to December 7th, that is the time if you have a Medicare plan, do I want to keep it or do I want to change it? For any of those questions, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group because we're independent agents. We don't work with one company, we work with many companies because all of you have different situations and needs. So if you have questions about 2021 Medicare plans, give us a call, 888-2600.
Are you frustrated because you feel like you aren't getting the internet speeds you pay for? One of the most common ways to test your internet connection is called a speed test. These are free and easily located on the internet and can tell you how fast your internet is. However, for certain reasons, these tests may not always be accurate. A speed test shows you how fast a file can be downloaded to the computer you're running the test on. However, there are many things that can affect the speed of that download besides the speed of the internet going into your home. A few of the things that can affect your internet speed are poor Wi-Fi signal, other wireless signals interfering with the wireless signals coming from your router, other devices in your home draining your bandwidth, your computer or phone running apps programs in the background that you aren't aware of, slowing your entire device. Any of these things can slow down your internet. Your internet is like water flowing down a pipe. There's a big pipe bringing internet to your local area, and a smaller pipe coming off of that bringing internet to your home address. Your router is just another pipe that brings the internet inside your house, and every device inside your home is like a pipe connected to the router. Just like with water, if any of those pipes along the way are too small for the amount of internet that needs to flow through for a family, the flow for everything down the line will be much slower. It's a lot like trying to push all the water going into your house through a small straw. Also, again, just like with water, if everyone in your home is using the internet at once, any individual device may not be able to receive the full flow of the internet. It's like your whole family trying to drink out of that small straw all at once. If you're struggling with internet that is slower than expected, make sure that all of the devices that your internet flows through are working correctly, and check all devices in your home for background programs that may be using the internet. If everything still appears to be working correctly, contact us and we'll be able to help.
Alignment Pros and Express Lube. They are the best at what they do. Alignment Pros and Express Lube has Castro oil changes starting at $44.99 and $20 off full synthetic oil changes with no appointments needed. Wait in their clean, comfortable lobby with a hot or cold beverage. Oil changes, alignments, brakes, struts, shocks, specialty cars. With a 5-star rating, you can trust the quality work at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So a friend posted on Facebook that Jesus was a socialist because he told us to feed people. Well, I mentioned that there's a difference. Jesus told me to feed people. He didn't tell the government to make me feed people. So, of course, some people jumped on my case for being, self-righteous, blah, 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 whatever I don't know. But look, you can attribute Jesus to your economic philosophy or your political beliefs, right or left. But it's not a question about whether Jesus is on your side or not. It's a question of whether or not you are on his side. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
The Chelan Ridge team exists not only to craft exquisite wines and great food, but to make your visit memorable. And as a team, job one is to make you feel welcome at home and want to return again and again. Kids and dogs are always welcome at Chelan Ridge.
The magic of the holidays is in iconic Lake Chelan. Breathtaking light displays, Santa parades, fireworks. Celebrate local with Plaid Fridays. Information at smalltownholidays.com.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Give the gift of amazing sights and sounds this Christmas. Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater is the clear choice for a brighter, bolder holiday season.
Chelan Wireless is making the switch, and so should you. The switch to T-Mobile, that is. Now you can get the 5G experience America's talking about right here in downtown Chelan. Stop by and see why the switch is on to T-Mobile at Chelan Wireless.
Businesses and individuals have trusted the experienced professionals of financial alternatives for their retirement and investment needs for 40 years. They offer a broad range of investments, annuities, and insurance solutions for people and businesses throughout Washington. Financial alternatives will assist you in making informed decisions for your future. Call Financial Alternatives today and meet with their advisors.
Stunning view from Kashmir from our Apple Annie's camera. It's a beautiful morning. Gobs of sunshine for everybody. It's just climbing up over the horizon. Here in downtown Wenatchee, we're at 23 degrees. Fairly mild today, all things considered, because we are in for a significant cool down in our temperatures, all the way down to afternoon highs only in the teens and overnight lows in the single digits by the time we get to this weekend. So don't look for any snowmelt of any significance for the foreseeable future. Complete weather forecast details are coming up. But first, a recap of your Monday morning news at 49 minutes after the hour. Highway 2 through the Tumwater Canyon was closed for most of the weekend after heavy snows led to over a dozen snowslides between Coles Corner and Leavenworth, and that detoured traffic onto the Chumstick. That's a shot from the Chumstick Highway eastbound traffic on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, the Tumwater was closed late Friday. They had heavy snow, as you know. That led to fears of avalanches. Those avalanches eventually occurred numerous times on Saturday. In fact, 5 cars were stuck and needed to be removed from the Tumwater Canyon after driving around a snow berm that was placed to block the roadway. Traffic that was detoured onto the Chumstick Highway led to delays of over 1 hour. You saw that for folks heading into Leavenworth. By noon on Saturday, congestion was so heavy at the summit of Stevens Pass that numerous vehicles just parked right on the highway. You're not supposed to do that. Highway 2, by the way, through the Tumwater Canyon reopened at 3 yesterday afternoon. The Wenatchee Valley College Board of Trustees has finalized the details of the contract with their brand new incoming college president. His name is Famous Harrison. He's seen there. He's going to be paid $250,000 per year under the contract, which trustees approved at a special meeting last Tuesday. Harrison replaces retiring Wenatchee Valley College president Jim Richardson, who's leaving the institution after 17 years. Harrison previously served as the dean of the Stockton campus of California State University Stanislaus, and he worked at the Washington State Community and Technical College system for 20 years prior to that. Harrison's first official day as president of Wenatchee Valley College is January 3rd. And speaking of the new head of something, the Wenatchee River Institute has brought in its new director. He is Kanush Taranella. He's going to lead the environmental education nonprofit beginning next year. Retiring director Carolyn Griffin Bugert is stepping aside. Taranella is a former board member of the WRI. He served for 2.5 years. The Institute at the Barton Beach Reserve provides education and outreach for youth and adults interested in the local ecosystem and the natural world. WRI plans a send-off for Bugert and welcome the new one. They're going to have a little party on January 21st at 4 o'clock at the WRI. That's a quick look at what's making news. When we come back, one more trip around the valley with our PTZ cameras and that chilly weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
This holiday season at Boswell's, give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
ColorFX has moved their shop to a larger location to expand their services, including adding in a state-of-the-art large format printer. They got it. You need banners? They got them. You need vinyl decals for your cars, trucks, vans, or trailers in just about any size? Yeah, they got it. ColorFX has also been providing fun swag and clothing for local churches and high schools around our valley for decades. Support your local print shop. Call ColorFX in Cashmere today.
At Wine Girl Wines, our #1 goal is to make sure every customer leaves with a smile on their face. From our Bavarian-style menu to our vast selection of wines, beers, ciders, and cigars, there's something for everyone. So bring the family, sit by the fire, and enjoy a relaxing evening.
At Local Grounds Coffee Company, they serve quality coffee, teas, and food items to get your morning started right. Stop by and try one of their signature drinks that will warm you up on these cold, snowy days. They look forward to seeing you soon at Local Grounds Coffee Company.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas just like the ones I used to know. Well, I can't go any further than that, or we have to pay the Irving Berlin estate money, and we all know they need that. Temperatures, as we look out over downtown Wenatchee, are all over the place. We're at 23 degrees outside of our studios. Not far from us is Ellensburg, and they're at 34. And then you go the other direction. Moses Lake's at 18 degrees. Manson's at 27. Omak is at 36. Getting a little snow melt up there. But Omak, you're in for some wind today. Right now, up in Omak, the wind is out of the north-northwest at 20 miles an hour. And also, I should point out that the Waterville Plateau is going to be in for some windy conditions today. No real significant wind down here in the Wenatchee Valley. We're in for a cooling trend. That's from our brand new camera at the very tip of Wenatchee Heights as the sun begins its trip up into the sky. Of course, the days are pretty short, just 8 hours and 31 minutes of daylight. And in 9 more days, we will have the winter solstice. So winter will actually begin, and it looks like we're in for a pretty long one, pretty snowy one, and a pretty cold one. Good morning to the valley from Wenatchee Heights. I think we're using the same cameras that we did an hour ago. That means we're probably on our way up to Kashmir, I'm assuming. There it is, the Appalachians camera. Look at Stein Hill getting bathed in sunlight there, as is Mount Kashmir. Behind it, beautiful view of Kashmir. Traffic is running pretty smoothly, to my knowledge. Again, Mondays, pretty light traffic. On Mondays, Wenatchee and Eastmont schools have late start, and a lot of people simply have Mondays off. They work Tuesday through Saturday, and their weekends are Sunday and Monday. Good for them. I think we are off to Rocky Reach Dam, and we are from the Omi Gardens camera. As you can see, not a single spill gate is open. Why would it be? Good morning to Rocky Reach Dam, the Baker Flats Industrial Park off to your right. Pretty light traffic from our Omi Gardens camera. They got a lot of snow too. And finally, we wrap things up by heading to downtown Wenatchee and a beautiful view there. As you can see, lots of snow for everybody. And we're in for some pretty cold temperatures. So again, it looks pretty good at this point anyway. Now we're 13 days until Christmas. And the long-term forecast right now doesn't call for any more additional snow, but what it does call for is cold, cold temperatures, and that's for everybody. Now, we're going to see some sunshine. As you can see, there's not a cloud in the sky. We're not expecting any today. But we're going to be under the influence of a strong ridge of high pressure. It's going to build into the region, and it ain't going to go anywhere through at least the weekend and probably into the very early part of next week. What does that mean? Very dry and very, very cold. There's 1 week shortwave that's going to come through Wednesday. That's going to warm us up a little bit, but that's an anomaly. For the most part, we are in for some very, very chilly temperatures around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley. From our friends at Apple Valley Honda and the National Weather Service, here we go. Sunshine, you can check that box. That's not going to be a problem. And we're going to be right around 32 or 33 for the afternoon high. Over the weekend, a couple of things I want to point out. Of course, we got all that snow. Started Friday night, just about 4 o'clock, and it lasted for a great deal of the day on Saturday. We had more snow than they were anticipating. Saturday, we got to 30 degrees. That was the high, and that was right before midnight. So we did gradually get warmer on Saturday. We got to 35 on Sunday, which is almost exactly normal. We'll be in the lower 30s today. 27 for the overnight low tonight. We will see some patchy fog form in the Wenatchee Valley. So tomorrow we're going to be a little bit cooler, mostly sunny, only 27 for the afternoon high. Again, some patchy fog in some locations. And then 19 for the overnight low. A little bit of that anomaly. I told you about that weak short wave is going to come in on Wednesday. Going to tick us up a couple of degrees for the afternoon high with a high of 29. And then we start talking about very cold temperatures, 18 for the overnight low. And it's going to feel colder because the snow is going to be on the ground. And that usually ticks our afternoon highs and our overnight low a couple of degrees cooler because it's part of having snow on the ground. So we're only going to get to 26 on Thursday, 14 for the overnight low. No snow in the forecast, as you see there. Sunshine Friday, a degree cooler for the afternoon high. And because we were expecting no cloud cover in the overnight hours, that means no blanket, and that means downright cold, 11 for the overnight low Friday into Saturday. Saturday, we're only going to get to 22 degrees, very cold, 10 for the overnight low on Saturday. And then Sunday, 18 for the afternoon high and the overnight low of 9 degrees. And they say this ridge could last for a while. So in for some very chilly temperatures. This is going to gradually get colder and colder as the week progresses. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.